All right. Hello, Jan Copeland here with the Livy Girl Success Boutique, as well as the Girl's Guide to Outrageous Real Estate Success. And it's another day in September, so here we are with another awesome lady as part of our 30 days of inspirational transformation, life transformations. And today I'm very pleased to have Kara Macdonald. And Kara has 22 years, and I'm from Philly, so I say Kara. Do you say?
I actually really like it that way. I like the way people from Philly and New Jersey and New York say my name. I think it's cool.
Yeah, so it's Kara Macdonald with Pruitt title with 22 years experience, and I don't know Kara except on Facebook, and she makes quite a good impression. And I will say that with my coaching clients, one of the biggest things that I try to get through their brains is to embrace who they are and be different and show up with brand YOU, brand you. And you certainly do that. And I know that you're such an asset to Pruitt title, Kara. So I'm going to, as you know, turn it over to you in a second. And I just want you to share whatever's on your heart that you think will be a pick-me-up or an encouragement, sharing a story that you went through in your own lifetime. And I've had some ladies share two stories. So I'm just going to, I don't give you any parameters other than whatever you feel in your heart to share and bless our viewers today. So take it away.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for all those kind words. I quite frankly did not even know you knew me or saw me on Facebook. So that's really a compliment, and I appreciate that. I do work very hard, and I love what I do. So I think that helps, helps you to be creative and be successful. And I thank you for having me on this program, show, whatever you want to call it today. I have not shared my story. I have a couple stories, and I'm trying to decide how I want to phrase it here. I have not done it in this arena before. I am in quite a few, I'll say friend groups that I trust and obviously share with and get advice as things come up in my life. But this is a big deal. This is a little bit bigger than I would probably normally do, but I do believe it's what's supposed to happen today. So I'm 42 years old. That's important because I don't think I came to a true awareness of who I am and what life is kind of about until I turned 40. Somebody told me when I turned 40, this is going to be the best decade of your life. And I really believe that because the first 40 years have been difficult, and not in a terrible way, just, lots of things happening, lots of experiences, lots of ups and downs, and lots of lessons. So I'm grateful to be where I am today. I don't regret anything that's happened in my life or wish anything were different necessarily, because I do believe that it got me to where I am today. So tiny bit of background. I grew up with a single mom, and around 7 or 8, she started drinking, and that became a problem. And we moved a lot. I look back on that part of my life as something that if I was to regret anything, that would be it, because I didn't understand it, and she's gone now, so I couldn't go back and say, did you ever think of me? Like, I'm changing schools all the time and never really got any roots anywhere, and I just always felt kind of left out in the school world. And I can't ask her that because she's gone. But I have been able to forgive her and turn that over, which is wonderful. I know that everything that I've done in my life, I never intended to hurt my children or damage them or anything like that. So I had to look at it that way. Like, she just had her own stuff, her own illness. And I know that she did the best that she could, which is very enlightening if you think about it. So not getting what I needed in my home life, I went on to have 2 children very young. And they are wonderful and beautiful people now. They're 21 and 23 now, and definitely have done so much more already in life than I ever got to do. So I'm grateful for that as well. In my 20s, I went into alcohol and drug addiction myself, and it tore me and my family apart. We lost everything. And I've been in recovery since about age 29. And I do a ton of stuff in recovery. I go to meetings, I have, women I work with, all that stuff. It's been up and down. I have not stayed sober since 29, but I am very sober now and have been for a while now.
Congratulations.
But that's a big transformation for me. What did you say? I'm sorry?
I said congrats. It's a big deal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Nothing that I did, we say, it's God, and it's the program that I'm in. So that kind of started the transformation, if that makes sense. You know, I woke up, I wasn't down. My head was always down and depression and all that. And I came up and I'm like, wow, there's this great life here to lead. Right. So I started living the best way that I could. And 3, 4, 5 years into it, still feeling kind of sad. Went to the doctor. The doctor throws some depression medicine at me. Here, this'll help. And it helped a little, you know, it made me feel better, it lifted me up a little bit, lifted my energy up a little bit. So I didn't think, you know, I had no awareness. I wasn't aware of any, that even second guess this doctor, you know, it's a doctor. So going on, taking this medicine for 5, 6 years, I started seeing a therapist for other reasons. I thought I had a food addiction, which I kind of do, but I definitely use food to comfort myself. You know, if you think about it, you just replace one thing with another thing. You know, if I stop drinking alcohol, even if I'm in recovery, I might start shopping a little bit more. I might start eating a little bit more. I might start overworking, and all those things can kind of pop up in my life if I'm not really taking care of myself. So I just wanted to work on myself a little bit more. I've always been somebody that is not afraid of that. I love to learn and grow and get feedback. And that's not something that I'm afraid of at all, which I'm grateful for also, because there are a lot of people that are. So the therapist has just been, I still see her. She's amazing. I think everybody should be in therapy. And, you know, she's just really helped me in so many ways, and boundaries and, you know, loving yourself, knowing your worth. And, you know, I've always been kind of a people pleaser and, you know, oh, I'm not really worth that, or, oh, I can't do that. And we talk a lot about that in this business, our limiting beliefs, right? That all comes from inside. You know, it's all about you not feeling valuable and worthy. And that all comes from probably our childhood. Yes. So it's just all connected. And I love that, because if I have an answer, I can work on it, right? So about 1.5 years into therapy, she says, I want you to go get your medicines evaluated, my medicine evaluated. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. So she gives me a name of a doctor, a psychiatrist. And this was 1.5 years ago. And I went, and another I love doctors. I should not love doctors as much as I love doctors, but I love doctors. So she sends me to this amazing woman in Reston, Virginia. And I don't know if I should say her name, but I'm not going to say her name. So the therapist said she's a wonderful diagnostician. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. So I go in and we talk and we do all these things. And she tells me, she's like, I think you have bipolar. I'm like, no, like that's like, we all have our I have chills thinking about this. We all have our, I guess, an image of what that is. You know, mine was, oh, somebody's just bouncing off the walls, or they're laying in bed in a dark room in depression. Like, that's what I thought it was. And that's not what it is. I mean, I guess it can be. I don't have those symptoms. I think everybody's symptoms are different. But I was surprised. And I said, okay, what now, right? So I spent the next 9 months adjusting medicines. That's a big part of this. Going back to the doctor regularly, staying in therapy, continuing all the things that, now mind you, when I first went to therapy, I was addicted to food, right? It turned into so much more than that. It's just, yes, you eat or do whatever you do to make yourself feel better, but you got to fill that hole up that you have with spirituality or therapy that teaches you how to love yourself and all that stuff, right? So it was just an amazing discovery time for me. And last December, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I started losing weight because I started eating better. So I'd gotten up to 260 pounds, and that was my highest weight ever. Mm-hmm. The bipolar medicines, the therapy, all that, I believe, contributed to, hey, all of a sudden, you know what? I don't need bread at every meal. I don't need, all those sodas. I don't need all, sugar stuff. I started to realize, and I was so close to going to get the surgery, bariatric surgery, I think it's called. And my therapist said, just give it a little bit more time, another 6 months. Wait till your meds are regulated with the doctor in Reston. Just trust me. And I did trust her. So I didn't go get it. but I was almost on my way to Mexico because it's cheap down there. And I didn't do it. And I also had enough knowledge at this time to know that, you know what, that's a Band-Aid. You know, you're going to go get that. Sure, you're going to lose weight, but if I'm not well inside, I'm going to gain that weight back. So I knew enough to wait. So I waited. And then again, that was probably October of last year. In December of last year, I started dropping weight. And so far I'm down right now to 205. So I've lost 60 pounds and it hasn't been perfect. I crave food. If I start eating something bad, whether it's a bread or anything, it kind of starts the process over because you have to detox again for 3 days or whatever, depending on how much you eat. Yes. So I wish I'd kind of stopped doing that. I've got like my kids home right now. I've graduated from college and all this stuff and a lot of stress right now, you know, and I do want to go to food. Thank God I don't want to go to alcohol though. Yeah. But I do want to go to food, but I don't always, and that's okay if I do sometimes. I'm very forgiving of myself. Yeah. And the transformation really has been, and it's not about vanity, you know, looking at me. And I was always fine with I think I'm a beautiful person. I know I am. And, you know, I love to get dressed up and I love makeup and I love all this stuff. And no matter if I'm 150 pounds or 250 pounds, I know that I will always be that way. So it never was about looking better or anything. It was about feeling better, you know, and making good choices that I was proud of. And once I started doing that, it just starts to build and build and build. So the story is, don't be afraid to explore what you're feeling, what you're, the smallest things. Even if you want to go get evaluated just because, you know, just go get evaluated. See if, hey, am I drinking too much? Am I whatever? I'm kind of sad a lot. Like, is that normal? Like, go to a doctor and ask, you know. My psychiatrist, I am so upfront with her. Like, you know what? On Tuesday at 3:30, I felt sad. What's that about? You know, I don't want a pill for everything, but I want her to know everything so that she has all the information to help me. So I go to her now about every 3 months. My meds are all regulated. I did need like a tweaking here or there. I'm still continuing to lose weight. I haven't implemented exercise yet. I hate exercise, but I'm going to try soon. My son's getting married in December. So, but not being scared to tell people I'm bipolar is probably the biggest transformation. And what that diagnosis and the path that I had to go down to get where I am today, starting all the way back to my childhood, really. And I don't know if you have it all, you know, I read about two, and one is from early, and one like starts in your 20s, but I'd probably say I've had it most of my life. And because I've never felt 100% like myself and loved myself and knew how to take care of myself. And it just all started way back there. And I think that's what's cool about life is that, yes, I had this transformation moment a year and a half ago that led to, you know, a year, 3 months ago or whatever. That is the culmination of so many other things and the courage to walk through things and do things that are right for you and not for other people. And I think that's going to be a lifelong thing. But you know what? Once I got through this big thing, I'm going to be able to get through anything now. So that's my story.
Thank you so much, Kara, for sharing that. I mean, I wrote down some things. You said you started living, and before that, you know, you had children young. Yep. And then you had alcoholism, and you had to deal with some stuff. And I'm so excited and glad that you did. I mean, I had been in therapy. I got panic attacks at 29. They started around 27, 28. Got really bad at 29, where I was almost agoraphobic as a single mother. Of course, I couldn't do that. I had to go to work. And so I get what you're saying about then you started living, because before then it was, you know, and I like how you said no regrets, because I think that women downplay our success. Even if, like, I interviewed somebody in this series, Kara Pierce. I know she will watch this, I'm sure. She's one of the top 100 agents in the country. 2 years ago, she was top 30 under 30. Love her to death. Beautiful person inside and out. And, you know, she still struggles with some things. And when I give her accolades, she wants to downplay them, right? Everybody, when somebody gives me accolades, you know, it's just, women downplay it. And I think, why don't we embrace it and just say, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know? And so I just think that in this Girls Guide to Outrageous Real Estate Success group, I really see that. And if you wonder why you never see anything negative, it's because we flag it and it's gone. Okay? Because we won't allow anything negative, because it's the one place where women can go and you can share anything you want and you will not be met with any drama. And if we miss something, please let us know, because we do not want any drama. Let's see what else you said. You said that, through therapy that you were able to be the person you are right now. And I know that, I don't know, do you want to share with them what you told me about speaking?
Oh, sure. So I work for a title company in the DC metro area called Pruitt Title. I've been there for 6 years. And the way that I pretty quickly realized a neat way to develop business was to teach classes. So agents were struggling with social media and how to, do it and all this stuff. And I just developed 4 or 5 classes that were super successful, and I earned a lot of business from it. And I was like, wow, I really like this teaching thing and this speaking thing, even if it's only at a local association. And I had it in my head that I wanted to speak nationally. That has happened 3 times, but it's been slower than I was hoping it would be. But again, all because of all this stuff that had to happen. I think in 2016, I said to myself, I'm going to get a speaking gig before the end of the year. I've spoken at a small event in Nashville, a medium-sized event in Michigan, and the other one is escaping me right now. But they weren't like, I'm like, this is more of what I'm teaching back at home. Like, I don't want to do that. I've always wanted to be somebody, because I share my story and I'm not afraid to. I know that I can touch people and encourage people. So I hired a speaking coach 6 months ago, because one of those events that I spoke at, I was not happy with how it went. I wasn't as prepared as I should have been. And I'm like, I've got to, I'm just not disciplined enough to prepare and practice. And I just want to show up and talk. And that's not how it can be done all the time. So I hired, her name's Valerie Garcia. She's a wonderful person. You might have heard of her. She's a great person in the real estate space, and she speaks like 100 times a year all over the place. So I hired her, and still mental block. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, because I don't want to talk about this teaching social media anymore. Like, most people have all that down now. And so still mental block. May of this past, just May, a couple months ago. Now remember, I'm just then getting kind of regulated with my medicines and losing weight and feeling good and all that. And I had it. I was like, it's a longer version of what we're talking about now, because I don't want to offend anybody, but social media is very telling. And I'm on social media a lot. And I think there's a lot of people that need to hear this. There's a lot of people that need to hear they can be successful without doing certain things, without being online so much, without, I love being told, wow, you look great today. Go kill it, girlfriend. Wow, you're awesome. But that's not where you should get all your stuff, all your affirmations, all your love. That needs to come from within you and around your true friends. Facebook's they're not all your true friends, So that is also something that really kind of hit me. I'm like, because it bugs me. I don't think it should bug me, but it does bug me. And I'm like, oh, I wish she would stop doing that, or he would stop posting that. And then I'm like, you know what? I think that even if it helps 2 people, I think that if I could share this story, it would be so beneficial to the real estate industry, because we can be, everybody in this industry is just a little too much out there. So, so that's what it was like. It clicked. I was like, God, oh, thank you. Because I was like, this is what I've been looking for. I've been looking for a sign, and then it connecting to something else. So that's my goal now. And I'm working with Valerie now to completely finish all my stuff that I need to do. And then I can start kind of building my database to send my information out to people. And it'd be fun to go on 5, 6, 7, 20 gigs a year.
Awesome.
Yeah. But the point would be to encourage people.
You went from alcoholism and somewhat depression and battling overweight, right, to clarity. And I feel like, this is the whole thing about transformation. It's not a microwave, ladies. it's a transformation. It takes time. And I haven't even recorded my story yet, but it's along, you know, similar lines as far as enjoy the transformation, enjoy where you are right now and embrace it. But you don't have to be so transparent, because there's a time and a place for that. And, but anyway, but I think that in the right forum, such as this, where we are really purposefully sharing the hard parts and how we are getting through it, or we have gotten through it, is so empowering. So thank you so much, Kara, for joining us. And if
You're
anybody,
welcome. Thanks for having me.
you are welcome. I will have her Facebook link in here, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Kara.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.